border security is very essential. A borderless nation is a no country. If your border is porous, then there's nothing your security agent can do. Just like in a room, if you want to fleet your room or kill some mosquitoes, you need to shut down the windows and shut down your doors. If you open your windows and your doors and you're trying to fleet your room, you'll be doing it will be a wasted effort. I'll tell you that Nigeria is under invasion from the northeast, northwest, and other parts of the country because these criminal elements are capitalizing on the vulnerable state of our security agents, and they are putting Nigerians in a state of fear. What is happening in Nigeria presently? Bukola, Nigeria is suffering from societal threat, and the Nigerian security agents and government security forces must go all out to bring these guys to justice, so that we'll be able to move around without being intimidated or being coerced by this criminal element.
It's difficult. It's difficult for anyone, any rational person, to accept and believe that 26 years down the line, or even more, what is 26? More than that. But let's just say within this democracy, down the line, we are still trying to guess the identity of the perpetrators of this crime. I don't think that is acceptable. Something is fishy. Somebody is not being honest. I would like you to speak to that as well. The DHQ come to say foreign herders are responsible for invading, killing, and grabbing land on our sovereignty, our land. It doesn't make sense. I can't process it. It's not acceptable. So somebody is definitely trying to play politics. I don't know who. So I would like you to speak to that. On the other hand, we spoke to Mr. Alassane. He talked about, I tried to ask him, is it that you don't have militia elements among your rank and file? He kept maybe denying or saying, oh, the farmers are the farmers, they don't carry arms and all of that. But the herders, they don't carry arms. But on one hand, he said when they attack, there's a retaliation in that sense. So I'm asking, which weapon did they use to retaliate and all of that? So it looks like everybody is saying this one is responsible. There's a shifting of blame everywhere. So from a security man's point of view, how do we tackle this so that our military and our armed forces can know exactly who to deal with with the level of force that is required in this sense?
I tuned into Channels Television today and I did not regret tuning into it. And what I saw is just about what I've been saying here, because what we are talking about now in Nigeria is all about the invasion of the foreign element in collaboration with other terrorists in Nigeria, both in the politics, both in the military or paramilitary, those who are colluding with them to station, to grab lands, kill people, carry out Islamization, and so on and so forth. And above all, they said they are waiting for a call. I don't know whether it's a call for war. I don't know the call they are waiting for. That they are stationed, that immediately they receive call, they will enter into the town, and so on and so forth. There are so many stories, moving from across Nigeria. But I am glad that, on national television, where most Nigerians tune to, they can hear and understand what is going on in this country.
I must tell you, Geoffrey, that it's so shameful that for the past 12 years on, we've not got it right. We've not gotten it right because it's so sad that we still have this criminal element, perpetrating this criminal activity within our territorial space. These guys don't have military barracks. They don't have naval base. They don't have air defense. We have air defense formation. We have naval base. We have military formations. What's going wrong? For me, I think the Nigerian Military Tactical Command or the Nigerian Army Tactical Command should go back to the drawing board and reassess their tactical operation because it's so sad. Like last week, we saw on papers where Boko Haram staged an attack on 27 Task Force Battalion and they successfully dislodged our military formation. Where was the brigade commander where this attack came? Did they allow Boko Haram to dislodge a brigade of soldiers? It's so disturbing because I've been getting calls from across the globe, and the question that comes is that what's happening to our soldiers? I tell you, Geoffrey, that our Nigerian army is one of the bravest troops we have in this continent. But what's going wrong? I tell you, there's an absence of political will, and we'll also have one or two criminal elements that are sabotaging the effort of the Nigerian army. Now, Boko Haram, each time they go on attack, they carry effective weapons. PKT, you see them moving with GPMG. And now, in a section of soldier here in our country, we have just one GPMG GPMG in a section of soldiers. So I think the Nigerian Army Tactical Command should assess the number of GPMG they'll be giving our soldiers and the amount of GPMG in a platoon of soldiers, so that they'll be able to carry out an effective operation against this military criminal element. I tell you, fire superiority is not about putting on uniforms. Fire superiority is all about what you have. What do you have? What do our soldiers have? So I agree with the Senate and I agree with the Minister of Defense. We need to re-strategize and ensure that these guys don't shame our soldiers, because I see that our soldiers are trained so hard and dying so cheap, which is so painful. Then going by the response from the last speaker, I tell you, you've seen videos moving around or flying around where we see farmers, farmer headers or some headers with arms and ammunition. It's not deniable. It's in the public view. Like what he said, that the Nigerian government should parade the people they think are disturbing this country. I agree. So for us to clear the doubts, each time you get most of these guys or you accost this criminal element, parade them, so that we'll know if they are farmers, elders, if they are from the international community or whatever the case may be. But what is very important now is that the Nigerian military should go back to the drawing board, reassess their operational strategy and their tactical strategy to ensure that they bring Nigeria back to its glorious days. Because I believe in the military, they have the capability and the capacity. What they should do is to look for those criminal elements that are selling information to this terrorist group and bring them to justice, so that we'll be able to live in a state of peace in this country. Border security is very essential. A borderless nation is a no country. If your border is porous, then there's nothing your security agent can do. Just like in a room, if you want to fleet your room or kill some mosquitoes, you need to shut down the windows and shut down your doors. If you open your windows and your doors and you're trying to fleet your room, you'll be doing it will be a wasted effort. That's how borderline is. I remember in 1999 in the Bakassi Peninsula, some guys just visited our formation and said, Oga, there are some group of guys moving around with some illegal goods. And that information came to us, and what happened? We accosted those guys. What happened? We have porous border area, and I tell you that in the four corners of Nigeria, the porosity of our national border is something to call for. I think the government should declare a state of emergency in our borderline. The immigration should carry out an assessment of our borders and proper mitigation factors. We don't need to fence our borders, Geoffrey. There are technology in place that you can use to man your border, and you'll be able to identify any criminal element moving around your governed space or maybe the governed space, and you curtail them. So it's not magic. It's all about technology. It's all about character. It's all about readiness. Are we ready? We've been talking about security issues for the past 10, 12 years since Boko Haram sprang up. And I tell you that I think some people need to be held accountable from the security forces and also from the political area. And I think our politicians too should be called to order. In these last elections, we've seen that some criminal elements are being used, talks and everything. And this is a subject of discussion, because when you use talks in carrying out during the election period, what you do is that you're satisfying crime. And most of these criminal elements believe that, okay, if politicians can use talks during the election, it's okay to commit crime in Nigeria. And that is one of the reasons that crime has been flourishing in this country. And I will call on our government to see this as a very serious threat. We need to, stop that nonsense. For me, Geoffrey, we need to also start getting technologies in place. I was in New York 4 months ago for a security conference, and I saw a lot of technologies, Geoffrey, that our Nigerian government can use. I will also advise our military to send some of our officers and men to attend most of these private security conferences in overseas, and bring in technology information that they can use to support their operational strategy, so that they'll be able to bring Nigeria to a state of peace. And I must use this opportunity to salute our brave officers and men for putting their life on the line to protect this great nation. And the government of Nigeria must take very good care of our soldiers and officers and men, and those who who pass on in line of action. Because for you to put your life on the line to protect your country, I think there is nothing that will be too small or too big for you to be given by a nation. I salute their efforts, and they need to also reassess their operational strategy, so that they will bring Nigeria to a state of peace. I'm proud of them. We've done so well in Syria alone. We've done so well in Liberia and in other countries. How come in our own country Boko Haram are staging attack against our military formation, our battalions, our brigade, and they're succeeding? Then I tell you that there is one or two criminal element or officer or some persons that are sabotaging the effort of our brave officers. This must stop, and the military has the capacity to stop this nonsense.
Now, every now and then, I used to talk about the solution or exit strategy. That is the statement I normally use. What is the exit strategy to all this issue going on in Nigeria. And a lot of people don't still buy the idea that Nigeria should not be one. Yeah. A lot of people don't still buy the idea that this country must not remain one. But that is the destination. That is the truth. That is where everything is going to. If this country remain one from now to a few years to come, people will be surprised to see where they call a country or their home. Because every now and then, every month, we are having millions. I am not joking. I am talking about millions, not hundreds, not thousands, millions of people with arms invading your country, and you said you have a country. I pity people who don't still understand what is going on now. A lot of information coming from every now and then. People say that they are ordered to position. Position for what? What is coming? It's so pathetic that, Nigeria is like a blind tribe. So anybody that sees in a blind tribe must be killed. But you know what? Not everybody will be killed. Right from time in history, people has fought war. I heard about the Kumeku War. I read about it. And so many other wars that our ancestors fought. And they came victorious. Same thing is going to happen because the Nigerian military and Nigerian security forces will not be part of the war. Because before then, in fact, even now, they have been infiltrated. They have been defeated. So what we have there is just a skeleton of the name you call Nigerian army. They are no longer real. The truth is that this country is not sustainable and this country must not remain one. It's a matter of must if the people want to survive. So it's a choice. Either we choose to have Nigeria and the people died, or we have the people live and end the country in peace through a referendum.